ready? So I'm just going to take a moment and let's imagine it's the 4th of July. You just got home from the parade with your family and now enjoying a fantastic outdoor barbecue. It's starting to get dark out, so you and your family start to get ready for fireworks. You're laying out blankets, just relaxing. Nothing could get better than this day. Then the first firework explodes. All those happy things are gone. You're back in the war. Guns are firing all around you. The adrenaline is back in your body. This is the experience of millions of veterans every day, including John Andersen, who served as a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps and is a Desert Storm veteran. He stated to me, no matter how many trainings you go through, you will never be fully prepared for the sights you see, the sounds you hear, and the smells you smell on the battlefield. What this veteran means is that though he and many other soldiers went through numerous trainings, no one was fully prepared for what they saw, heard, and smelled. An example of this that this veteran told me was, when I was in trainings, the people were getting as close to hurting me without actually harming me. It was something that was always in the back of my mind. I knew they weren't inflicting any harm. But as soon as that first sign of war goes off, it hit me. These people are trying to harm me. Waking up in the morning can be hard. I very much believe in that. But how many of us wake up in the morning worrying about a war, or if we'll ever see our families again? Without many of those soldiers that served and are serving our country, this would not be possible. Many people have heard of PTSD, but how many of us actually know what PTSD is? PTSD stands for Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. This illness has four main ways it could affect you. The first being reliving the event, such as flashbacks or triggers. Another way it could affect you is if you are avoiding situations that could remind you of that event. The last two ways are negative changes in beliefs and feeling keyed up. Many of our brave soldiers suffer on a daily from this mental illness. But because these soldiers are told and trained to show no sign of weakness, many will not seek any help. How can we as a society, or even just as a young teen like me, help soldiers with PTSD? When soldiers choose or are drafted to go off to war, they make a lot of sacrifices. Brad Jensen, a former captain in the Army, also another Desert Storm veteran, told me, "My wife and I have been married for 7 years at the end of my time in the Army. But out of those 7 years, I was only home on our anniversary 3 times. People have no clue of the things we go through, the sacrifices not only we make, but the ones our families make too." I fully agree with Brad. Many people do not know of the uncountable sacrifices military soldiers and families make on a daily for our country. My father was one of these brave soldiers who suffers from PTSD. When I realized this, I started to gain an interest in learning more about what I can do to help these veterans. Ever since I was a little girl, no matter where we went, my father would have to sit in the very back of the room, being able to see all his exits and everyone around him. Even today, he's sitting in the back corner. When I first noticed this was happening, I was around 5 or 6 years old, thinking it was just one of his own little things. But as I got older, I started to realize that it wasn't just because he didn't like the front row. He was, and still is, suffering slightly of PTSD. Brad Jensen also stated to me, "PTSD is like a scar, not a wound, and scars don't define you. Some soldiers let it define them, though. We should never look down or criticize those who do. They're people, not robots." A war to a teen, or even sometimes adults, is commonly difficult to understand because we live in more of a safe society than other countries. So for us as teens, as children, and even as adults, something as simple as writing a letter to soldiers overseas, visiting a veteran's home, and talking with them, or thanking of veterans and current members of the armed forces for their service can and does go such a long way. Thank you.